Hey, welcome back. It's the screencast jumping into my favorite maths. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the maths you should know. And today we're leaping into geometry. Yes, love it. Today we're going to start with finding the area of a parallelogram. If you're asking me what's a parallelogram, it's a flat shape. As you can see, there's a little blue one on the screen right now. With opposite sides that are parallel and equal in length, but not always square. All right. I guess you could say, though, that it could be square, in which case a rectangle could be a parallelogram. But here's an example right here. I just want to point out something to everyone in screencast land that's listening to Maths You Should Know. Super important. This symbol here. It's the 90-degree symbol. It's a right angle symbol. No fancy name to it, but it's really important when we're doing geometry because it helps us identify both the base and the height of objects. So in this case, that little symbol that I circled is touching both the base, which when I think of the base, I think of something that it's sitting on. And right now it's sitting on this, or maybe a table or something like that. And the height of it goes from down here all the way up to here on that red dotted line. I also noticed that this B, standing for base, is up here. And using geometry, I know that the space from here to here is equal to here. So whatever that is, it'll help me out. We do have a formula. Area of a parallelogram is base times height, which will also come in handy when we start talking about triangles tomorrow. Let's move forward. Here's a parallelogram, and it's questions asking, find the area. Now, the area to me is how much is inside of something. Like, what is the area of a floor? You know, and if I need to know the area of a floor, that's how many tiles do I need? In this case, is just find the area of this shape, this parallelogram. And here's my base down here. And here's my height. Don't get confused with this line right here. That line right there, that is a slope. We're not going to talk about that until we probably get to pyramids. So you'll see an example later on where that kind of gets us confused. So we're not going to get confused by that. We're going to know that that red dotted line, because of that right angle symbol touching, tells us the base and the height. All right, how am I going to figure out the area? Well, firstly, I'm going to count. Let's take a look at the base. I see 1 square, 2 square, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means that there are 6 units on the base. And very similarly, I'm going to count up starting right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 6 times 8, which gives me 48. I don't have a measurement. Many times it'll be centimeters or meters or inches or feet, that sort of thing. But in this case, it just is asking me for units. So I'm going to label this units, and I'm going to put the squared symbol here, saying that there's 48 of those little squares inside the parallelogram. That's what that means. Let's go to another one. Here, they're trying to confuse us. They're showing us the slope here, this angle. That is not what we're looking for. We're looking for the height, which, because of that symbol right there, that right angle symbol, 90 degrees, we know that from here to here is our height, and from here to here is our base, or 20 times 11, and that should be the area. Does it come out to 220? I think so. 220 what? Well, in this case, we're measuring in centimeters, so it'll be centimeters squared. One more example. Sometimes we can have the area, in this case it's 45 inches squared. We have the base, which is 9 inches, but we don't have the height. Is this algebra? Maybe. How would I solve for h? Well, I would isolate the variable. Just sounds like algebra. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. I'm dividing. Why? Because over here, we're using multiplication. The opposite operation would be division. Do it to both sides. These two cancel each other out, leaving with h equals 5. And I'm going to label it inches. Inches because I'm not looking for the area. I'm looking just for this thin line right here. Pizza line, I think someone in my second class named it. But anyway, so my label is 5 inches. Ladies and gentlemen, that's parallelograms, finding area. Good luck with work at home tonight. Feel free to email me. Like, subscribe, and ladies and gentlemen, that is the maths you should know.